The morons hacks.
Hello everyone, it's the Morals Hacks, and in today's video I'll be talking you about my first cars actually. I've always loved the BMWs, but I've not always have them. I didn't have the opportunity. I didn't know what it was like to have a BMW, so that's why my first car is not a BMW. My first car actually was how could I forgot it? No, I haven't forgot it, of course. My first car was an ALFA ROMEO 2.5 GTD. This is a diesel engine, common rail, 136 horsepower. It was actually a great car because as every teenager, you want to tune it to have more horsepower, and that's what I really done. I had it chip tuned at the beginning, and it's got almost 160 horsepower. It was a great car with even with the front wheel drive and the big 5-cylinder engine in the front. It was a red one. I started. You see now how it looked in the beginning. It looked like this. After that, the car starting looking like this at the end. When I had to sell it, I had it for 3 years. I have a lot of repairs. You know, it's an Alpha, and when you tune it, the thing is getting worse. You see how beautiful it is. I just can't mention this. Let's return to my first car. It was an Alpha I bought for 2,000 euro. Actually, my parents helped me buy this car. I got about 1,000 euro to buy it, but I didn't have a job at that time, so they had to help me buy this car. But it was a great car, you know. It was a red one. You saw it, and I got these 70-inch rims, black painted, black matte. And I had new front intercooler mounted from these Universal China ones. I've got bigger injectors from the next Alpha, which is 150 horsepower, and the car really started going very well. I had the turbo to change with bigger one, and it was my first car on the second gear. When you're on 2,000-3,000 RPM and you hit the gas, it spins its tires. I sold it because I wanted to try something new, and actually my next car was not so nice, not so good and impressive as the first one. My next car was a Seat Toledo 1.9 TDI, a car and with an engine which has an awesome potential. You know, they make it up to 300 and more HP, but it was also very wide and it wasn't stable at all. Then I had an Audi A4 Quattro. Actually, I wanted to have a Quattro car after driving only front wheel drive cars, so I bought my first Quattro. And if someone tells you that A4 Quattro can't stuck, you know he's not right, because I stuck even though the car hasn't. I had all 4 winter tires, and I stuck on the ice. It was a hill and it was very heavy ice, so I had to have some people pushing Quattro, which was embarrassing, I have to say, to have a Quattro and to ask people to push your Quattro out of the mountain. It's a little bit I don't know, embarrassing, I think, yes. It was 1.9 TDI again with 110 horsepower. It was a nice engine. I tuned it a little bit, and that was my third car. Thank you for watching until now. And you see the sunset is very beautiful, and after some time I bought my first BMW. It was 318 Ti compact with 143 horsepower. It was a great car, but it didn't have an LCD, and now I got this beauty. After some other cars, I've got this 5 Series 525i with no Venus from 95. It is a great car. It's also chip tuned. I always chip tune my cars because, as you know, every time I want to get all of the engine. I want to have all the power which can be produced from the stock hardware. And this one has an LCD. It's my first BMW with an LCD. It's a great feeling. And if you have driven a BMW, newer BMW without LCD, it's not the same. Just driving with an LCD, this system is incredible. When you go from the second to the third gear in the corner and you push the gas to the limits, and you can slip your car and you start drifting, it's amazing feeling. I love the feeling of sliding around the corner. It's just magical, you know. And but actually I forgot to say that before I bought this E34, I had E39, and do you know, some people would call me crazy, but I sold my E39 just to buy this beauty. At the moment it has cost me more than 4,000 euro to own it, to maintain it. At the moment, 3-4 months after I bought it, I bought it for 2,500 euro, but it has some changes to be made, shocks repaired, of course oil changes. This can be done always, and some other little things which added to the value of the car. I drive it not very often, maybe not every day, because you know the fuel consumption is little high when I drive it hardly. I mean hard, not hardly. I get about 20 liters per 100 kilometers, which is average consumption for a V8, you know. But crazy, man, you know, BMW fans are sometimes a lot crazy men. If I tell my other friends that I have sold my 525D, it was a common rail with an M pack. I sold it to buy this car, to make place for this car, which is older. It is 11 years older than my E39, but I've done it because I like BMWs. I want to try these BMWs because they will not exist anymore after some years. It will be very hard to find in such condition a BMW which hasn't got rust on the downside of the car. So that's my it's on my heart. This car is really inside my mind, but actually this consumption is preventing me from driving in all the time, because you know the gas is cheap nowadays actually, but it's not so cheap. Maybe I'm not rich enough to drive it every day, but it's the most romantic car I have driven. It's the most aggressive car. It's not the fastest, because 525D was chip tuned and has almost 212 horsepower, and actually it was a great accelerating car. It has a lot of torque actually from this diesel common rail engine. It gives me a very nice fuel consumption, about 10 to 12 in the city with really aggressive driving. Now I have double fuel consumption. 11 years older car, and I love it because this is an old BMW, and they go in your mind, in your heart, and you can't resist these BMWs. This one here is stock with the leather interior. It's getting darker. I don't know what you see now, but the sunset is really nice. It's red sunset, you see. I don't know how the camera is showing it to you, but it's really nice. And that's why the feeling of driving, of being one with your BMW 5 Series or E30 or E32, it's really a great feeling. I love this car, and I'm a kind of man who sold his newer car to have older car, and which for some people is craziness, and this is a kind of rubbish car because it's older. But it's not like that. People who understand, who know, who are petrol heads, really know that this car is awesome and it's better than the new E60, E39. It's better, it feels much stronger, much man-like car. It's really a nice car, and it really gives you a pleasure from the start to the turning off the engine for the whole time. Whenever you're driving fast, aggressive, drifting, starting with burnout, it's always giving you a very nice and full excitement of driving it. It's just an extremely driving pleasure. I can't say this for newer BMWs, especially slower ones, which doesn't have LCD system, and here everything is so rough. It's so initial. It's just the right thing, and it's the right BMW feeling that you have to feel. I have driven other cars, but the rear wheel drive cars are my favorite, because when you go into the corner with a high speed, when you go on the step on the gas, the front wheels can do their own job. They have nothing to do with the power. They are just steering, and the rear end is just pushing you to go into the right position. So thank you very much for watching this video. I just told you what were my cars, my new passion. I love this car. You can watch our other reviews in the channel, my other cars and drifts with this car. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now, people.